welcome back to the channel. It's time to do a monthly wrap up. Can you believe February is over? February felt like the shortest and the longest month at the same time. Technically, yes, it's the shortest month, but a lot happened. A lot happened, and that is why I only had 2 videos in the month of February. It's unfortunate, but life happens. So, we're gonna get into what I read, because I actually read quite a bit. Hello, Miss Star. Miss Star's gonna join. I just got home, so she's very clingy right now. So we're gonna quickly go through some stats, and then we are going to get into everything that I read or attempted to read in the month. Overall, I read 14 books. I completed 14 books. I did DNF 1. So, attempted 15, 14, really good percentage. Again, I'm hoping I can DNF a little more, which is like the weirdest thing to say, but yeah. I read 4,086 pages, which is incredible. My goal is to read 50,000 pages this year. So, I'm still chipping away at that. My goodness. You were just causing mischief and mayhem. Of those books, I did listen to 90 hours and 23 minutes of audiobook. So, that's a lot. And my average rating for the month was 3.4 stars. Part of my goal for the year is to read what I own rather than getting library books. Unfortunately, that I did not do as well this month. Of the 15 books that I attempted, 2 were from my Kindle. 1 was from my physical shelf, which is good. And 2 were NetGalley books. The rest were all library or KU. So, that was unfortunate. And with those stats out of the way, we are going to hop into everything I read in the order in which I read it. So we started off the month with a book from my Kindle shelf, and that is Meet Me in the Penalty Box by Callie Melly, I believe is how you say it. This is the first in, I don't remember, I think it's Orchid City is the series name. And yeah, I feel like this was the first book series she wrote by the way that this book was written. Thank you for your tail in my face. There was just some issues I had with it, especially with some of the spicy scenes. There is some stuff where they are having some fun times in places that just give me the ick, like the locker room. I don't know if anyone else has ever been into a locker room of a ice rink. Especially a boys' locker room. It smells disgusting, and I cannot imagine like anything less sexy than that. And just, yeah, no, it did not hit for me. I did give this 2 stars. Some keywords for this book are hockey and workplace romance. Yeah, part of continuing some series that I have started prior to this year. I read They're Vicious Darlings by Nikki St. Crow. This is the 3rd book in the, I don't even know what the series is, but this is the 3rd book in that series. And this one, I really started not caring about this kind of polycule wide shoe situation. Like, none of these characters are appealing to me at this point. I'm just not enjoying any part of that relationship. What I was intrigued by is some of these side characters that I did have to ask someone who has completed the series if they have their own kind of thing. And there is a side series with these characters that I am so interested in. So I'm looking forward to that. But I did read this. I gave it 3 stars. Again, it is the 3rd book in a series, so don't start with this one. But it is a retelling dark romance and wide shoes romance. Continuing series, this is a thing, and I continued Forbidden Puck Boy. This is the, I want to say it's book 7 in the Puck Boy Boys series by Eden Finley and Saxon James. This gave Hughes Brothers vibes before, and I read this before everything happened with the Olympics. This was like the last book I read before the Olympics happened, and the Olympics took over my life. And I was like, this has Hughes Brothers vibes, and I'm pretty sure that is what they based this off of. Unfortunately, it gave Hughes Brothers vibes. So this is the second of the, I don't even know how you say it. I call them the Kiki Boys, because I honestly don't know how to say that name. But it is the middle brother and the oldest brother's best friend. And that was an interesting dynamic. What I really wish had happened was there was more time spent on them building their relationship after they kind of figure out they want to be together before the third act breakup, because I did not feel the stakes as much. So when like it got resolved, I did not have like the warm fuzzy feelings in this. The other problem I had with this was that the older brother is so protective that it slightly felt homophobic. So, yeah. That being said, I did give this 3 stars. This series is really fun, and they're a good way to kind of just escape for a little bit. Unfortunately, right now, I'm really mad at men's hockey. So, keywords for this are queer, hockey, best friend's brother, and found family. I read Resisting Maxu by Victoria Aveline. This is, again, part of continuing series. There is going to be a continuing series vlog. If you cannot tell, I have been working on continuing series. This is, I don't know what number in the Clickanian series, and I'm so close to finishing the Clickanian series. But this one, so she is going on this tour around the planet that she ends up on, and to be like kind of like, this is what humans are like, and this is what human women are like, and it's a planet where there are no females. Like, it's just completely unbalanced, and so you have these people who are so interested in them, and right before they're about to go, this guy does some illegal stuff, so he does not have to take part in like that whole system of like trying to be marriageable material. Like, he wants to be arrested, so he is not eligible, which I thought was hilarious, because lo and behold, they're fated mates. She goes and he is like, oh shit, and he like tries to find her, and it goes from there. What I really enjoyed about this is she has a lot of like purity culture and religious trauma in her past, and it's her working through that and working through that mindset throughout this book. And that is what I really enjoyed about this. That was like the strongest factor in this book for me. I did give this 4 stars. And keywords are alien, fated mate, and religious trauma. I attempted to read Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. The setup was just a little too Hallmark rom-com-y for me, and I'm starting to think that the traditionally published romances are just not hitting for me in the way that independently published works are, because in indie romance, like, people can really focus on what they want to focus on, and they're not being told by some overlord in publishing what they should be writing. And the characters felt too much like caricatures rather than actual characters. And after the first chapter, I was like, I am not going to enjoy myself with this. And so I just DNF'd. I then read 3 Simple Rules by Nikki Sloan. I don't remember what the series is called, but this was spicy. So if you have never read a Nikki Sloan, I don't know if this is where I would start. I really don't know. But this was spicy, spicy, spicy. She is in an office setting. She does something and she makes a mistake. And it's a major mistake. It's going to cost some money to fix. And so she says, okay, like, I will pay for this. Like, this is my F up. And she needs to figure out how to get the money for it. So she has a friend who is a sex worker, and she ends up putting herself up for kind of like auction to make the money. And it goes from there. And yeah, the guy who ends up paying is her boss, and there's a whole bunch of things with that. And it just, I already have an issue with that power dynamic because he is her boss. But what I really had an issue with, and what really made this, like, I could have gotten over certain things, but what I really could not get over is there is a scene with a threesome, and it is not supposed to start as a threesome. So there's some issues with consent for me, because not only could it be considered cheating, but there's also, like, not really full consent when things start happening. And it's this really icky area for me, and it did not sit right with me. Like, had all three parties been, like, completely in on this from the get-go, I would have enjoyed it more. But because there was no, like, mutual consent from the very beginning with all three of them discussing it, it just was in a gray area that I did not like. So I did give this 3 stars, and I have the keywords written down for auction and workplace. I did finish I think it's Dark Neverland. I don't remember what the series name is. I apologize. But The Fae Princes by Nikki St. Crow. This is the last book in that series, and it was fine. It was fine. I did enjoy kind of like how Pan becomes Pan. But it's just not the story I'm interested in. Like, it just felt a little laggy to me, and I just was not having as much fun. I am intrigued, again, like I said, by that next series. That was where my interest really was. So I did give this 3 stars. Again, retelling Dark and White Shoes. A surprise contemporary traditional pub was 7 Rules for Breaking Hearts by Kristen J. Miller. I enjoyed this so much. It is about a girl. She and her best friend have a podcast about, like, how they're not gonna fall in love, like how they're not going to be in relationships, and just living an independent lady life. And her best friend goes and falls in love and is getting married, and it's going to cause a lot of work issues. They're no longer going to be able to do this podcast unless they come up with something, and they're contractually obligated to do things, and it goes from there. The friend ends up, because they're influencers, having a sponsored wedding, and so they pretty much all go to Catalina Island and are stuck there for this wedding. And there are people from their past that come up, and it goes from there. I don't want to spoil anything. I really enjoyed this. One of the notes I have written down is the way this, the main male character is written is totally what my, like, elementary school crush looked like. And that just was like, oh, shit. But besides that, I have the keywords of enemies to lovers, forced proximity, second chance, social media, and celebrity. Tentacles and Triathlons by Ashley Bennett. This is the second book in the Leviathan Gym series. I'm having fun with this series. This is the character from the first book. This is her brother, and a Kraken type character. He has tentacles and things, and yeah, I had fun. I sent some text to my best friend while I was reading this, like, this is happening right now. Literally, my notes are, there are mating tentacles, ... What? Question mark? This series is bonkers in the best way. The backstory and the growth journey is great. I love the banter and the found family. And that is exactly my feelings. This was just a fun time. It was a great palate cleanser, which was nice. And yeah, I just enjoyed it. So keywords are monster, fated mate, and queer. I clearly have been in the mood for, like, non-humans because I hate this right now. Like, I cannot look at a human man and, like, be okay. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah. So I read Love, Laugh, Lich by Kate Pryor. This is the first in her little novella series. I had previously read The Orc from the Office, so I needed to go back and read this one, and this was so much crazy bonkers fun. So it is about this girl. She is the PA to the head of this corporation. It is Evil Corp, and he is the evil overlord, and so he does spells and things, and he needs certain, like, ingredients, like a tear and, like, things like that, and things happen. I have short, funny, hot. He has multiple members, and it's just a good time. Also, his presents are hilarious. Like, he gets her an assistant. Like, his assistant has an assistant. He just the not understanding each other and, like, misreading signals is so funny. And it was such a fun time. It's less than 100 pages. So this is a quick read. And I just had so much fun. And so the keywords I have written down are monster and workplace. Make Your Change by Callie Malie. This is the second to last in the Ashton Archer series. This series is about single parents. And in this one, the main characters had previously had relations and then gone off on their own merry ways. Absolutely fine. Everyone's cool with it. She ends up pregnant, so this is secret baby, secret child, and so he's in the grocery store preparing for, like, a friend's dinner, and this little kid is allergic to dairy, I believe it is, and he's trying to find the right mac and cheese and asks him for help, and this kid looks exactly like him, and yeah, it goes from there. I loved the family aspect of this, like how they build their relationship with their child and, like, figure out the situation. Like, everyone's acting like an adult, and that is wonderful. Like, there's no, like, full on hurt. Like, he understands the situation. There's none of, like, that kind of PO'dness, and, like, I don't know how, like, there's no anger. You just complete understanding of the situation. Like, she did try to communicate with him, and unfortunately it just never got through to him, and, like, they're all adults about it. My problem with this, and I'm finding this with Callie Malie's writing, is that you build up to conflict, but then conflict is easily resolved and everything is honky-dory. Like, you want to see the dark soul of the night. Like, you want to see that hurt, that pain, that working through it, that figuring out, okay, this is what I need to do to get to my happy ending. And there's none of that. It just kind of, and yeah, I'm finding that. I think I've read too much of her stuff together, and it's really becoming apparent. But we've got one more book in this series, so we're going to continue. But, so I have Single Parent, Secret Baby, and Hockey. And yeah, that is my thoughts. My first 5-star of the year. I'm so excited. I can't believe it took me this long to read this darn book. And that is Tender Cruelty by Katie Robert. This was one of my most anticipated releases, and I just never got to it. And I finally got around to reading it. This is the Zeus and Hera story from the Dark Olympus series. I'm obsessed. So she is in this whole plot to kill him. She is going to get pregnant to have the heir and kill him so that she can be regent until the child comes of age. And because she would be the only alive parent for the child would be raised the way she wants them to be. But feelings ensue. They are literally each other's perfect match. I'm obsessed with how obsessed he is with her. Like, that was amazing. It's literally up there with Eros. Like, yeah. And the way that this plot is just, I'm so excited for this final book because things are going crazy and I need to know what's happening because, I don't see how this is going to resolve. I have no clue what's up Katie Roberts' mind. Like, she always just, it's crazy. It's fun. It was so hot. Absolutely obsessed. 5 stars. And, so if that isn't enough just of me, like, word vomiting, so keywords are hate to love and marriage of convenience. Next, in the Clocadian series, we have Ruling I don't know how to say this. Sycophant, I believe it is. Ruling Sycophant. This is about, again, that traveling group. Some stuff happens at the end of that book that is just absolutely shocking. And they end up leaving a human behind because they do have to do an escape. And she ends up being a captive. And again, fated mate. Things ensue. I really enjoyed, like, this is the perfect place for her to land. She is so, like, distraught because when they got taken from Earth, like, they thought her tattoos were things that needed to be healed, and she was very proud of that. And so she ends up in a place where that is art and that is something that is appreciated. So she's able to get that again, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Also, like, things are happening, like, she's thinking she's going to have to be politically married, but there's also the fated mates of it all, and things that happened in the past, and they're just two people that are healing each other in the best way. And this one might be my favorite. We've got one more left in this series, so we'll see how it all wraps up, but this one might take the cake for my favorite in the series. Again, Captive, Fated Mate, and Past Hurts. Mantras and Minotaurs by Ashley Bennett. This is the 3rd book in the Leviathan Fitness. This one is the mom of our 2 human characters. It's her story, and I was excited because it is an older heroine and an older hero. Like, they both have adult children, and that was nice to see, but because there are no stakes, like, there is no fated mates in this one, it's just too adult, like, the stakes were not as high. Like, it was cute seeing them together, but it just felt kind of flat in comparison. I really like there being some stakes, unfortunately, and there was just niceness. It was cute. I really enjoyed that she has a hairless cat that he even is, like, obsessed with, and there's a scene where they're all in matching sweaters, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cute, but again, it didn't have the same kind of feeling as if they had been fated mates. So I felt like something was missing, and I think that might be it. But overall, it was a fun time, but it's not something that I would, like, freak out over. So later in life, monster, and I wrote cute pet. I think that's going to be a tag we're going to track this year. And then a surprise, I picked this up based off of my friend Allie's recommendation. She loved the series last year. I don't remember what the series is called, but it is The Cock Down the Block by Amy Award. This is the first book in this series, and I had so much fun with this. It is so witty and so punny, and it's just the perfect rom-com. It had great spice. I enjoyed the characters. It was so well thought out. He is an absolute himbo simp, and I love him. And she is such a strong main character. This had body positivity. Like, she is a full-figured girl. Her mom was a sex worker, so, like, that's not something that she's, like, off-put by. Like, she is just a positive woman. And, yeah, like, I loved this. Like, I had no issues with this. I also love that... Oh, God, what was his name? Did I write that down? she has a rooster. She has chickens. They're named after Star Wars characters. And the rooster is Luke Skywalker. Obsessed. Obsessed. I thought the best chicken names were from a book I read, I think it was almost 2 years ago now. They're named after Twilight characters. No, Luke Skywalker takes the cake. Oh my god, I had so much fun with this book. And I'm so glad it's how I ended my month, because I left on such a high note. 5 stars. Friends to lovers, body positive, sex positive, cute pets, and football. That is my February wrapped. Holy moly. That being said, March is going to be insane. I am participating in Realmathon, and I love that Realmathon is just like, there's no set prompts. Like, you just kind of pick what you want to read and figure out points. It's probably my favorite readathon now at this point. There's going to be a lot of books to talk about, so I'm going to not only do like kind of my themed vlogs, but I'm also going to do weekly vlogs, so that way if you want to see the readathon, you've got that, but they'll also probably be in other videos. So that is it. March, I'm coming back with a vengeance. Again, so much happened in February. So much happened. Yeah, and take care of yourselves, because February was rough. So I will see you guys very soon. Have a wonderful day, and Star and I will see you next time. Bye! Bye! She's like, nope.